I think we're live. I think going by the
I think.
by the chat and also how XSplit's now glowing red. So if anyone's in the chat, can you let us know? Can they hear and see us just to make sure? Because I don't want to end up fucking this up.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes. Okay. It's just I need to resize this. Yeah. Anyone in the chat, let us know. Okay. Alex says he can hear us.
Oh,
Give
yay.
me a moment. So I just need to readjust the position of the chat in a particular way. Okay, so for those that are unaware what this is, if you can't see the big red letters up above, we're going to be talking about spoilers, and this is the SpoilerCast for The Last of Us. So we're going to be talking about mega super spoilers about The Last of Us while MD does a little jig. So, so we're going to be
It's my
talking.
last of a spoiler jig.
That works. So we're going to be talking spoilers for the ending, spoilers for the game overall, themes, and really what we thought of the story as a whole with the spoilers and everything. So be warned, spoilers. I'm not going to say it again. If you don't want spoilers, the two words for you. Go away. But you won't have a spoiler. Okay, so would you want to bring? Is there anything you want to bring up first, MD, about the story, like the ending in particular? Do you want to talk about that first?
No, I think we should probably talk about like the ending maybe later
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
and maybe
So,
lead up to the ending.
yeah, we'll talk about like the start of the game because I actually have something quite interesting to say about the start of the game. Is it doesn't beat around the bush, does it?
No, I love the beginning.
Yeah, same
I
here.
thought it started so good.
Yeah, like when I was playing it, I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? This looks kind of calm and relaxing. This isn't right.
Yeah.
And then,
Did you know anything? I don't think they
um,
had revealed that he was gonna
no,
have a daughter.
no, they didn't reveal that. That was completely like
Yeah, and I
spoiler.
was like, who is this?
Yeah, I was kind of like,
I was completely.
who the fuck is this? And for those that don't know, he has a daughter at the start of the game. Had a daughter. She
Yeah.
she she gets killed
Wait,
within
hold on.
like she gets
Let me
killed
fix my
fairly quickly. And not by an infected. She actually gets gunned down basically.
Yeah, by some dude. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what is gonna happen? I couldn't predict what was going on.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, right, if we're going by standard zombie apocalypse thing, the soldier's going to save them. Nope, he didn't.
I thought so too. I thought the soldier was gonna let them go through,
Yeah.
but
That was the only thing I didn't predict. Everything else I predicted, I'll say that right now. But that little bit, I was kind of, okay, child death within the first 5 minutes. Didn't see that coming.
I know I was like, wow.
I was like, you got balls, I'll give you that. And it was quite a heart-wrenching scene as well. Like, we only had this girl for a few minutes, literally, and you were just like, oh, father and daughter, that's so sweet, and, oh, what, she's dying? Oh, God.
Yeah, that was
I,
tough.
I gotta give Naughty Dog balls for that, because not a lot of games and stories do that, from my
No, they
taste
don't.
anyway, because it's not exactly something that a lot of people agree with.
Yes, I'm
Like,
surprised. I didn't see that much uh talk about that. Like I was
ah,
surprised I didn't see a lot of people
yeah.
going, "Oh, that was bad
In
that they
all,
did that."
in all honesty, same here. Like, with all the sensitivity from different people, I was half expecting them going, how dare they have a child death within the first 5 minutes? And I was like,
Yeah,
why didn't that get brought up? And then I'm going, huh, that's rather interesting.
exactly. They
Like,
did such a good job about it though. The
yeah.
acting in that
Oh,
scene,
yeah,
like
I
Troy
was,
Baker. Oh,
oh. I must
man,
have not,
he
yeah, I must
sold
admit, like, he done a good job as Booker, but Joel, he hands down his best
he
performance.
nailed it. He
Nailed it.
nailed that so well.
It just the emotion in that particular part with his daughter was fucking
I
beautiful.
know. It was so
Oh,
good. I cried in that part.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
oh,
"Oh
don't
my."
do the manly tears, manly tears. And then I just say it's like that, like from the start, it just bam right in the heart, and then it just skips forward 20 years, which I was like, huh,
Yeah, and you
that
could
was
totally see how like that just took a toll on Joel.
yeah,
How he just completely you could just see him run down and just
yeah.
like, he's older, but you could just see that he was
I
just
think by the looks of it, looks like he's in his maybe late 40s, early 50s. I'll say that.
yeah, because it was his daughter was maybe like what, like
I would say
13,
13,
14.
yeah, 13. I'll say.
Yeah. So 20 years afterwards, he looked like he was probably well, he said he had her young in his life, so he looked like he was probably like what, late 20s?
Late 20s, I'd
Maybe
say. Aye.
early 30s.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think he's
yeah,
probably like
I'd probably
late
say that.
40s.
It's tough to say. As I say, is that I don't think that probably there's a Wikipedia entry that says he's this old, but I would take a guess here. But I do like the fact
Yeah,
that
I
how
think it was like late 40s,
yeah.
late 40s, maybe 50, maybe. I think late
Well,
40s.
we'll say late 40s, 50. That'd probably be a good bet. And I do like
Yeah,
the fact that like looking at him as well, you could see that he's been through hell. Like
yeah,
from his daughter's death, it looks like you can tell just by the way he walks, the way he
yes,
sounds, that he's been through hell. And you're
yeah.
just like, what has he done? Like even me, like normally I'm like, my protagonist has to be a nice guy. He's not a nice guy.
No, I loved it. I
Yeah,
usually, me too. Like I'm usually just like a nice guy
yeah,
with my characters, but I tend not to go like do the bad stuff because I feel horrible about it. But it worked with
yeah.
Joel.
It
Even
really
though
did.
you knew that he did bad
Yeah,
stuff
like
and
we find out later in the game when we run into his
yeah,
brother that he says we done fucked up shit.
yeah.
Like even when
And
you
like when in that part where they hit the guy where
yeah,
he's not hurt because because he's been on the other side as well.
uh,
And how he's killed innocent people and stuff.
yeah, I like
I thought that just added to his character.
yeah like when they're in that little scene where they're basically fighting the pirates. That's what I call them. I don't know why I was like pirates. Why am I calling them that? Like they don't have peg legs. But I like that
What
part.
part?
The part where like you're with Ellie and you're going into the basically the city and the bus hits you basically.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
the
part.
part that was in the trailer.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. And when you're playing through that part, Ellie's like, "You've done stuff, haven't you?" And he's like, "I don't want to
Yeah,
talk about it." Like you can tell that he's killed innocent people. Like
yeah, and she asked him once. She's like, "Have you killed innocent people?" And he's just like stays quiet or something like
yeah,
that.
and also how like Ellie's like a bit of an optimist in a way. Like when you're seeing these two people running away from the armored truck, like, and then they get gunned down.
Right,
And
right.
Ellie's like, why didn't we help them? Or some way like that. She was kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why didn't Joel's like, we would have helped them, we would have been dead.
yeah. It's like he knows he knows the world, like how the world has changed so
Yeah.
much, and I
He,
think that personality carried over to the end.
yeah, that carried over to towards the ending. And as it says, going through the game, we see that Joel has been through hell, and we see this world because you think in a zombie apocalypse game, or which I'm basically calling these zombies because it's the best way I can describe them, but they're not really zombies in a way.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
infected.
yeah, they're infected. So we're just infected. I'd ended up calling them the infected plants. That's what I call them because that's what they are basically.
The plant people.
Yeah, the plant. That's basically what you can call them, the plant people. Which I must admit, I really liked Naughty Dog for doing that. Instead of making up a T virus or something, they went, let's take
Yeah.
something that already exists and scare the shit out of people.
Yeah, it makes it even more crazy. Like it makes it even more scary to think about. Like, oh my God, what if it did happen?
Yeah, especially if you're like me and you're just like, what if this actually happened?
Yeah, it's
And
creepy to
I'm
think.
like, well, I'd probably be dead within the first week.
Yeah, and you saw that video, right? The
Yeah,
actual cordyceps.
how it did with the bug and all that. And I was
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God, that gives me the creeps.
yeah,
Especially after seeing that and then knowing that that's the same thing.
yeah.
It's like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
and Alex has pointed out that this is M Night Shyamalan. This is how you do Plants Are Evil for real. Uh,
Yeah.
M Night Shyamalan's, if you don't know, directed the movie called The Happening, in which the plants made people kill themselves.
I heard about that. I never saw it though.
Trust me, don't. But this is actually the plant. The ones here is very, very cool. I like that, and I do like the fact that Joel knows this world so well. Is that he knows about the spores, which thank you for correcting me on the little mistake I made. The spores are in certain areas.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
I happily admit when I'm wrong, but as it is in my head, it's just like when you say spores, I think we inhale spores every day. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's the
I
way I
think they
think.
made it. They did it. I think it'd be hard, like you said, hard to actually physically see spores.
Yeah,
But I think
the
they made it on purpose, like that on the
yeah,
game, so
I
that you
think
can see it and you know
yeah.
when to put the gas on, the gas mask.
And as it's from my opinion, as it says, maybe as it says, small quantities of the infection don't turn you right away. It does it over time. But the spore areas where there's a massive chunk of the spores,
Yeah,
basically, you inhale all that, you're fucked.
yeah, yeah. That
And yeah,
I can't. If anybody's saying anything to me in the chat, I'm sorry, I cannot see the chat. I can't even see Twitch.
uh,
It says Kraken.
oh god, Twitch
The
is.
Kraken ate Twitch on my
Oh god, Twitch has been a bitch into today. Twitch has been
The
off. I
Kraken.
haven't been able to watch her stream in days.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't see it, so
well,
I'm
okay, if
sorry.
you want to contact MD, contact her on Twitter, but at the moment I can see the chat and it's mostly just a couple of
Okay.
people messaging,
Yeah,
but
just
if the chat isn't loading, I do apologise for that, but there's nothing we can do on this end, but is there anything else you want to bring up about the game, like other wee themes and aspects?
uh gosh, it's been a while since I played the game. I what did you think about him, Joel, and what was her name?
Trish something?
Trish.
Yeah.
Trish? No,
No,
Trish.
Trisha? Tess. Tess.
Tess.
Yeah. I liked her. I actually did like her. Although from the moment I saw her, I was like, she's gonna die.
Really? You know what? When I knew she was gonna die, I think we talked about this last time when we were doing the Geek podcast.
Yeah.
When she said, um, "You know what? After this, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
we're settling down." I was like, "Oh God, she's gonna
Yeah,
die."
I was kind of like, right, she's either going to get killed or infected, and right as soon as she appeared, I was like, tough woman who kills people on the fly and and instantly wants to help Ellie. She's dead. I'm just like dead, and for those that don't know, the reason Ellie is so important is because she's immune to the infection.
Yeah.
Completely immune. She can't be infected by spores, and even if she gets bit again, she can't be infected. So
Yeah, she can breathe all
unless
that
you're dealing
nasty
with
air.
fucking clickers. Ugh.
Ugh.
But yeah.
My God, I got killed by so many of those damn
Yeah,
things.
fuck the clickers. I took the Shiv mastery thing as soon as I could.
I know, me too.
I was like, yes, I can survive one.
I know, dude. Do you think Tess and Joel had like some kind of do you think they were just partners or do you think they were
I don't know.
romantically
Like
involved?
for me personally, I got a vibe of they were romantically involved at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't think in the sense of like, oh, I love you. I think more in the sense of, hey, you want to have sex?
Yeah, yeah, like they've been partners for a
Yeah.
while, so they obviously probably
They probably care about
got
each other,
together.
but they don't like
Yeah.
care, like love each other. It's more of a mutual friendship, in the way I
Yeah.
saw it. And I do think they had feelings for each other, but I don't think they were feelings of, oh, I want to marry and have kids, because even Joel says, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want kids in this world.
Yeah, I think it was like a friends with benefits type of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing probably makes the most sense.
I got that
Yeah.
feeling too when
I think she was a good character. As I say, I kind of guessed that she was jailbait. Like she was dead. She was going to die, and I was like, oh, that's going to happen. So I will admit her death, while predictable, like she gets bit, basically infected, and she says like if you get bit in this world, it's like an hour or two, and then you're turned basically, or something
Yeah.
along those lines. And
Yeah.
I was kind of like, yeah, she's not going to get infected. She's got to go down in a blaze of glory, and she kind of does.
Yeah, I thought that was I liked Tess,
Yeah.
but I thought she had a
Yes.
really good goodbye type of thing.
Yeah,
That was a
nice
pretty
wee goodbye.
strong moment.
That was a good one. I did like that, and I did like the fact that she's putting a lot of hope in Ellie basically because she's basically the only way humans will survive this.
Yeah,
And
and I think because of Tess it was the only reason Joel really went through with it was because of Tess.
yeah,
Like that moment. If like afterwards, he kind of like grew to care for her.
yeah.
But that moment when like Tess died pretty much for this, so he was like, "Fine, I'm doing it," but
Yeah.
he didn't want to.
No, he didn't. He's. I think from what the way I saw it was he didn't want to have another little girl's life in his hand again because
Yeah.
of his daughter. But he
Yeah.
went, look, Tess died for this. Fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'll get you to my brother, and then that's it.
Hmm.
And yeah, I like that. I did like the fact that he didn't want to do it, but he was kind of like, look, I owe this bitch. I owe this lady. She just kind of sacrificed herself for me, so I'm kind of stuck with this little kid again. So yeah, I did like that. I did like Tess. I did like how it wasn't like a continuous story. There were transitions, like the seasons. I did like that. I like that. Like it was like over a year this journey took. It wasn't just like, oh, we go from A to B in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
took them a long time to get where they were, and I just say is when I go to the point in which, when Ellie is going to basically, going to be given to Joel's brother, whose name I forget. I do apologize. I do like the fact that she did run away when she found out that, because she did actually grow to care for Joel in a way. Like
Yeah.
she
And
states,
she's like, he's gonna leave me too. Yeah.
she states in that her one fear isn't the infected, isn't bandits. It's being left alone, because that's all she has. She doesn't want to be left alone again. And when we find out later on the fact that her parents are all long dead, and of course the only person who she considered her best friend was also infected along with her, who wasn't immune, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then Marlene ended up leaving her.
Yeah, Marlene, and then she's like, she didn't want Joel, and that resonated with me, because it showed Joel manning up a little bit. I like that. And I like the fact when he meets his brother, he does argue with him. He's like, look, do this for me, you owe me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that scene was so good. There was so many good scenes, dude.
I couldn't pick it.
That moment where Tess dies, or the moment where Tess is gonna, where she tells him that she's bitten, and he's like, let me see it, let me see the bite. And she shows him the bite. The way that he reacted was like one of my favorite scenes. Just how he looked, like it felt like you were seeing a movie. You're like, like Joel was real because of the way that he reacted.
Yeah, I did like that. That was very real. It wasn't a fantasized character. It was a very real moment, and I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that. Trying to think, is there anything else? I want to talk a wee bit about the Ellie sequence, as I call it. Like the part where Joel, really, I'm going to say it right now. When they mentioned in the story that they're going to go to a university doctor to the university, I can't remember the name of it. The mirror
man,
building.
it's been a while. Yeah, I don't remember.
The mirror building. And when they said they were going there, I called it again. I was like, okay, either the place has been overrun or they ain't there. And I was like, oh, they ain't there. Big surprise.
Yeah, I thought so too, because I was like, okay, there's no way that the game is gonna, the story's gonna end already, so there's no way that they're gonna be there, because if they were there, then it would be like, okay, I'm almost at the end. But I was like, no.
I'll say this right now, fuck the bloaters.
The what?
The bloaters.
Oh.
I must admit,
all of them, dude.
The university.
The runners were crazy too.
The runners weren't so bad. Like I
didn't like the runners. They ran right up to me, and so many times. I didn't
mind too much, because all I needed to do was punch, dead. Because I always had a melee weapon with a melee upgrade with knives on it. So I killed a runner, and I got that upgraded enough that I could get 2 kills with it. So the runners were a piece of piss.
I did that
for me.
too, yeah.
But the bloaters and the clickers are one-hit kills, and they are, like, the bloater one especially is a brutal death.
Oh man,
like it literally
the bloaters, I would just like throw, what were those called? The cans, the explosive cans. Yeah, those I just like throw 3 of those.
Molotovs actually worked really well against them. Fire.
Yeah, those were pretty good.
I got the flamethrower.
And also the flamethrower towards the end.
Well. Yeah,
I like that one.
That worked pretty well, but I just wanted to get out the blowers in this enemy. There's only really 3 enemy types of infected: runner, clicker, and bloater. And then obviously you don't come across that many infected areas. There are certain areas where you'll come across a large number of them, but your biggest enemy in this one's people. Yeah,
those are hard, because I leveled up my hearing ability. When he like quiets down and you could see everything and hear everything. The infected you could hear and see perfectly, but the people you couldn't.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed
because they were actually being quiet.
Yeah, they were smart. The humans weren't
human
stupid.
enemies.
The humans weren't stupid. They were actually smart. Yeah, they adapted.
And oh my god, that I got in so many freaking problems because of that. I'd be like, oh my god, I don't know if they're actually there. You'd have to wait. You'd have to wait until they moved.
Yeah, and that's actually not a lot. I found an easy way is just like throw a glass bottle and they go, "What the hell's that?" and you heal them.
Yeah.
So you heal them, gunshot, bam. And I will say that ammo is very scarce in this game. I like that. Like, and also how Joel isn't a marksman. Like his gun sways from side to side. I like that.
Yeah.
Like little touches like that make me go, "Well done, well done."
Yeah. Did you use the bow and arrow?
I couldn't get used to that. I hated it. I tried.
Really, I loved the bow and arrow. Once I got used to it, I was like, dude, this thing is awesome.
Luckily enough, I actually got really good at sneaking. I got really good at that. I got to the point where I basically, through the last part of the game, I managed to sneak past everything.
Nice.
And I do mean everything. Not easy. I'll say that right now, especially the tunnel sequence where there's like 3 bloaters, 4 clickers, and a couple of runners. I managed to sneak I snuck past. I was like, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Yes.
I got through that with the Molotovs.
Oh,
I
I
just
managed to
like
sneak.
throw a bottle over to one corner, and they would all run at to that bottle, and then I just throw a Molotov, and then they'd
Yeah.
all the runners would just burn.
Yeah. Alex has asked like, are they like Left 4 Dead zombies? Hell no. These are not Left 4 Dead zombies.
Mm-mm.
They are much more vicious.
Left 4 Dead zombies are stupid.
Yeah,
They're
these
just
ones.
like
The runners are stupid, but the clickers and the blowers, they go by hearing, so you can't be loud.
But even the runners, aren't like Left 4 Dead zombies.
No,
Like I think the runners are more dangerous.
yeah, it's because like they as soon as they see you, they run towards you and they draw clickers and blowers to you because they make all
because
the
they
noise.
start screaming. Yeah.
Like I was lucky enough to be able to mostly shiv most of them, so I like that.
Yeah.
I must admit, shivs saved my ass so many times.
I know, dude. I always had to have a shiv, always,
always
because I
had
was like,
3
man,
on me,
if a click
like-
just jumps on me.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see what else. I will admit, the early sequence. Let's get back to that. Like, I like the early sequence when Joe, at the point of the university when no one's there, gets badly injured to the point that he's actually suffering from, I think, massive infection. And,
Yes.
You play as.
Did you think he died?
I was like, I think he. I was like, he ain't dead. I was like, is he dead? And I was like, wait, we've not even made it to the area meant to. So I was like, he's probably not dead, but there's a chance.
I was starting to get pissed because I was like, there's no way that they killed Joel and now you're gonna be Ellie.
Yeah.
Like I liked Ellie.
Yeah.
But
I
was like, you take Joel away from me and make me be Ellie now, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I love.
And I was like, I was scared until she said, "Oh, antibiotics." I was like,
yeah,
he's not dead.
I was like, yes. I was like, he's not dead. I originally thought she might have been able to drag or take him back to where his brother was. Like, I thought that first because that would have made logical sense, in my opinion.
Right.
But I guess he was pretty badly infected, so she didn't get that far with him. And by the way, he's not infected as an infected. It's an actual biological infection.
Like a bacterial
infection.
Yeah, in his wound.
And playing as Ellie, I'll get
that
it
was
right
crazy though when he falls and on that thing. I was like, like that physically hurt me.
I
was like,
I grabbed my side. I was like, oh shit, that looked like it hurt.
Because you grow to love Joel. Like you really grow to love Joel.
I really love this character. You grow to care for him, and I did like that about it. And I will say this, the Ellie sequence, gameplay wise, it was for fuck's sake. I was kind of like, I know I play as a little girl, no offense, but like I will say
me too. Especially after playing Joel.
Yeah, Joel. I will say this right now. They did give you an immensely overpowered hunting rifle, though.
I know, dude. I was like, dude, I want this forever and ever.
Yeah, and the thing is, Joel doesn't get it, and I'm like, fuck.
I know.
Like,
I was
the hunting
like,
rifle
I want the
literally
hunting
kills
rifle.
everything except for a blower in one hit. And I'm like, I love this gun. I was like, I love this.
But remember that sequence, dude. That sequence was horrible.
I died.
Where you're trapped in that room?
Yeah, and you're coming up against dozens of infected with this
I hated that
guy.
part.
We'll say sketchy for the moment. We'll say what he is.
Did you trust that guy?
I was like, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, I was like why is this? I've learned with like post-apocalyptic games. I haven't played that many just because I'm not too fond of them. But with the ones that I have played, if you meet people, strangers that are really nice, usually that's like not a good thing.
I've played plenty of Fallout to know that if you see people, you keep your gun out.
If they really want to help you, there's something wrong.
The way I found it is, if they're holding a gun at you, there's a good chance they're good people. Like, if they're shooting at you, kill them. Don't ask questions.
If they drop their gun, that's not a good thing.
If you drop the gun, you're like, this is a trap.
Yeah.
Simple as. And I didn't really... I liked his character. I was like, maybe she came across some nice people, but I was like, wait, this is a post-apocalyptic game. No way.
I was like,
and I liked the little twist. Like, he seemed like a nice guy. He did. He seemed like, I actually want to help you. I want to save you. And then he's just sitting at the campfire, and then he's like, I just sent some guys out looking for some people for supplies one time.
That part was so good.
And he just goes, a few of them didn't come back. Apparently, some crazy ass fucker and a little girl killed them all. And I was like, oh shit, Ellie, get that gun up. Get that gun up. And gun up.
That
and I'm
part was so good.
And
they did a good job.
And that was a good job. I'll give praise to that voice actor. He did a phenomenal job of...
Yeah.
The thing is, he wasn't a villain. He was the right kind of guy I'd expect in that world.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, like
I really like that.
Like he just got
disturbed.
this like
Like,
disturbed after so
and
much.
we'll get to why he's disturbed momentarily. But I want to talk about the wee sequence when she does get the antibiotics. The guy isn't two-faced. He's a man of his word. I'll give him that. He gave her the antibiotics, then
Let her
followed her
go.
back to where she was hiding to kill her,
I
basically.
thought so. I was like, oh my god, there's no way they didn't
Uh,
follow me.
and then I will admit, when she basically gives Joel the antibiotics, and then she gets the horse and sprints, gets the fuck out of there, and then the horse gets killed, and I'm like, Horsey, no!
Oh, that horsey now.
I couldn't remember his name. I couldn't remember the horse's name. I was like, no, God, poor Horsey. And then the other part of me was like, if she survives, at least he'll make a good meal. I'm sorry, that's the way my mentality goes. I have a dead animal. I'm like, you're a good animal. Good, good, good. Give me my knife. But yeah, I did like that little sequence where you're playing as Ellie, and then you're going through the game, and like they're out to kill you, and you have to be very stealthy in this game. Which I'll tell you right now, the Ellie sequence being stealthy is a bitch.
Oh my god, dude! Especially like all those plates on the ground, because
Yeah.
if you walk over the plates, it makes noise, and
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, where are
yeah,
you?
Ellie does. That's jumping ahead a little bit. Ellie does get captured, and
Yeah.
we find out that the guy who was very nice to her is a cannibal. And
Wait, was it really a cannibal, or was he just like butcher crazy?
nah, the
I didn't
way
get the. I didn't know
I,
if he
I
actually
got the
ate.
vibe. I got the vibe that they did eat people. Like,
You think so?
yeah, just the way they were cutting them up. They were cutting them up like a professional butcher would. And then
Ugh.
when you go through the freezer and you see all the dead bodies when you're Joel again,
Yeah,
like no question about it. They were preserving the bodies to eat them.
that's nasty.
And in all honesty, that would happen. Like, that would
Yeah,
happen.
eventually, crazy people. Yeah,
Yeah,
people that got so disturbed, they would
yeah.
eventually go to that. Yeah.
And it would get. And I did like the fact that that's when. I will admit, it was a little too evil for my liking, but it made sense. It made sense why that would
Yeah.
happen. I like that.
They did it in a very like a perfect way. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't too much,
Yeah.
but it was like it left you
It
like
left more
to
to
your
the imagination.
imagination.
Yeah, it left more to the
Yeah.
imagination than anything. They didn't say, "Oh, these people are crazy cannibals." No, it went, "These people cut up people. What do you think's happening?"
Yeah, like it left it very much to the imagination.
Yeah, and of course, then you go back as Joel, and he's interrogating two people, like when you he chases them down. Like, you literally chase these guys down, you kill one of them, and then take two hostage. I will admit that interrogation sequence. Oh,
That was
I
so
loved
good.
it. I loved it. Just the amount of emotion that was in his voice
Yes.
was just so beautiful.
I
It
think you
was-
really got to know who Joel was, like
Yeah.
the extent that he would go to.
Yeah, like if he cares
That
for
moment.
someone, he will go all out.
Yeah, and he's like, I
yeah,
don't give a damn. Like, I'm gonna kill you, even if you do give me the information. I'm gonna kill you,
and I
just
was
like you would kill me.
yeah, that's exactly what it is, and I like that. And I will say, when we get to the point where it's basically a boss battle, Ellie versus the crazy cannibal, that bit kind of pissed me off a little bit, just because of how fucking cheap it was.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I don't think it was as suspenseful as it could have been,
Nah, like,
because you could always see the guy moving around.
and
But it was kind of like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was kind
And-
of scared in that moment.
And for those that don't know what it is, basically you're playing as Ellie and you're going up against the big bad guy, and you basically have to be stealthy and stab him 3 times with your knife. And it's a very small area. It's a very much a sneaky boss battle. But if he sees you, he kills you in an instant. Like, he either shoots you,
Yeah.
or he puts a machete over you, I think it is, which was like, oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Up to 6. But yeah, I like that. And it was a wee bit cheap in some instances, but overall, I thought it was okay. It wasn't too annoying and a half, but it got a wee bit annoying a wee bit. But I
Yeah.
did like the fact that Ellie does kill him. Like, she kills him pretty damn clearly. And then
That was
Joel-
that was a good scene.
yeah, that was a good scene. The voice actress, who I think is Ashley Johnson, is her name. I think that's her name.
I think so.
She's quite a popular voice actress. In fact, I remember her from my childhood. She actually voiced Terra from the Teen Titans, which she does a good job with that as well, by the way. But this one was a very emotional, and that scene where she's basically stabbing the guy was very well done. And then Joel shows
Yeah.
up, and they embrace each other, and
Yeah.
it's very sweet. It's very sweet. I liked it. It was sweet, and it wasn't over the top. I liked it. I liked that.
I
a
loved
bit.
it.
And
And it was kind of like the moment where it was almost like both characters had like a 360 completely, because Joel from the beginning had been like not into it, like
yeah,
really not into what he was doing, and then he had a 360 where he became really close to Ellie
yeah,
because of what happened to him, and then Ellie was wanted to be close to Joel. But then after that same moment, she kind of like had a 362 and
yeah,
started to really see the reality of the world, and I
yeah.
thought that was awesome
That was, yeah, I
how
agree
they
with you there.
each had those changes.
I agree with you. I agree with you in that part. That was actually very well done, and I think that you're completely right in that part. That there was a bit of a full 360 of the characters. So I just need to make sure I'm checking Twitter. But yeah, I did like that, and then we go to the
Yeah,
final
me too.
part. Then we go to the final part of the game, which really the only thing we have to talk about there is the ending mostly. Like there were some nice scenes over there. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot about the bunker. Like when you're with Sam and that other guy,
The what part? The sniper?
the sewers, no, the sewers.
Oh, oh, right, right, right,
Yeah, we
right.
completely forgot about that. Like, oh, we also forgot about the two, like Sam and the other character whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. The brothers.
Yeah, the brothers. I have a quick note on them. I love that little part. What happened to
Yeah.
them? Which basically it's very much Joe, Ellie, big brother, little brother, and
Hmm.
what happens to them? We go. I'll say briefly. What happens to them is very nice, but the little boy gets infected, and the brother has to kill him, and then kills himself. And
Yeah, that was pretty
that
intense.
scene, I was like, oh shit, and I loved it. I loved it.
I know, dude. Especially after you see in the night the kid like looks at his leg and it's like he's bit, right,
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh my god, and then it's morning and you're just like
yeah. I was like, shit.
you know he's turned
I will
in
say
that
something.
room and
Yeah,
you're
you know
just
he's done. And what we in the wee bunker, the sewer part. I won't spend too long on this, but I read all the little journal entries that I found there, and reading them, I
yeah,
was like, though, anytime you found like a piece of paper or a journal, you were like, oh, it's so well written, so well written.
yeah,
I love them. And the journal,
I like them
I
too.
won't. I don't want to spoil that one because it is something you have to look for. But if you find the journal entry outside the bunker, like in the wee town you go in afterwards, reading what happened is just, oh. I'll say this right now. There's a child graveyard in the bunker. I'll say that.
Oh right, yeah, I did finish seeing all of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was really good.
that
I
was
love
us.
how they just throw those little things in
Yeah,
there,
little things. Yeah, yeah,
and they have the characters react to it. It's not
yeah,
just you reading it. Like
yeah,
it's also you finish reading it, and then sometimes Joel will say, "Oh, that's messed up" or whatever.
yeah.
He'll say something, and
Yeah,
I
he'll
like
say
that.
something. I was like, I hope they found it. So we
Yeah,
can't spend too much time on that because we completely forgot about it. But I like those little things in there. But we'll get to the ending now. Big spoilers. If you're still here, why? But here's the big ending. The spoiler. What happens in the ending is so perfect for the story. I loved it.
I loved it
I
too.
I loved it. And
I
really, in
thought it
all
fits
honesty,
so.
I predicted it. I was like, okay, here's X, Y, and Z. It went exactly as I thought it would, but it didn't take anything away from it either. Like,
Yeah,
um,
I thought that Joel was going to. I knew that he was going to save Ellie, right?
yeah,
But when he at towards the end, when he already has her, when Marlene tells him that that's what she would have wanted,
yeah,
I was like, oh man,
yeah. And
he's gonna let her go.
basically, we have to call me that. Joel basically butchers the Fireflies. Like,
Yeah,
I'll say this right now, that sequence, I will admit, kind of pissed me off because I kept dying at it because I tried to be sneaky and it didn't work out for me because there were too many of them.
I was actually pretty good in that scene. The ones before that, I wasn't extremely sneaky, but in this one, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
But it did take forever
Yeah, I tried to be
because you
sneaky.
have to like time it so
Yeah,
well.
it was very trial and error. I'll say
Yeah,
that. Like it did take me a couple of trials to figure out what happened, but yeah, I thought the scene was well. He basically he's like he doesn't want to be alone anymore. Basically, what I seen, like he's the one that feels being alone now, and he kind of cares for Ellie as his own daughter now in a way.
yeah.
And he basically just butchers through all of them. He even kills the doctor who, spoiler alert now, because I'm saying it again because I know I'm going to get fucking comments that are saying, oh, why'd you spoil it, you cunt. Here it is. The only Ellie is immune. So the reason she's immune is because the infection mutated in her brain, and the only way they could develop a vaccine is by cracking open her skull and scooping it out.
Yeah.
In layman's terms. That's the only way they can.
Scooping it out.
Yeah, that's the only way they can cure her, find the cure. And Joel's like, but that'll kill her. And I'm like, yeah, like taking the brain out of a body, the person is gonna be fine. But like,
Oh, she'll be fine.
she'll be fine. She'll just be a little. "Ugh." But he doesn't. He basically, it's a very selfish thing he does in a way, because Ellie is the kind of character who you think, if you say to her, right, we can develop a vaccine, we just have to take your brain out of your head. You think she?
Oh
would,
yeah, for sure.
I think she would struggle with it, but I think she probably would say, if it's to save
She
people,
would totally do it.
yeah, she would do it. But Joel lies to her basically and
Yeah.
says they found more people who are immune and it didn't help them too much. Which, if
Yeah.
you think about it, like the way this has gone from a couple of films I've seen and a couple of scientific things I read. The odds of finding someone like Ellie who's immune to this kind of infection is 1 in a billion. Actually, it's actually true, because I think it works through, like, if a virus like this broke out and it was a full-on virus, I think at least 90% of the population would be dead.
Yeah.
Then the last 10% would be, half would be infected, half would be okay. They'd have some kind of immunity, but they wouldn't have a full-on immunity. To find someone who's fully immune to a virus like this, an infection like this, is 1 in a billion. So,
Wow.
the odds are they're not going to find someone else who's immune to this. Like, they got lucky finding Ellie.
Yeah.
And in a way, the way I see it is the way he did was selfish. It was so selfish. He kills Marlene because he knows if she's alive, they're going to come for her. They're going to come for her no matter what. And Joel just says, I can't be alone anymore. So he takes her and lies to her. And the end scene where she basically says, swear to me, and he goes, I swear. I was like, beautiful.
I know. It's like, oh my god.
I loved it. I was like,
but you know what I think Ellie, like, what I got from Ellie, what she was saying, how she said her best friend, it happened to her best friend, it happened to Trish, or to Tess.
Yeah.
And to pretty much everyone that she knew would get infected and she'd be left alone.
Yeah.
I think one of her biggest fears was that if I'm the only one like this, what if I'm the last one?
The last.
You know, like, I think she felt like, what if Joel gets infected and I'm going to be, you know, the last one until someone kills me?
Yeah.
And I think that scared her more than anything.
That would scare me. That would scare me, in all honesty. Like, if I was immune to that kind of virus, and I'd be more terrified of being left alone than anything else. I agree with you there, and I do like Ellie for that reason. Like, she is portrayed as that kind of character, but it really is well done. With just the voice acting is so superb. I love that scene, and really, it's a bittersweet ending, because I'm like, oh, they're together, but he's fucked humanity.
Yeah, and a lot of people have told me, they're like, well, I think Joel it wasn't that he screwed humanity. It was more like, well, he probably was remembering those charts that he was reading, and that you know, other people that they had found that were immune, it didn't work, that they just died, trying to get the vaccine. So I think a lot of people have told me that they think that Joel thought it wasn't going to work for Ellie, and that it wasn't going to be a good enough sacrifice.
I actually didn't find those charts. I must have missed those parts because I was raging at that.
It was like right outside. It was like right outside of it. Actually, it wasn't charts. It was those little
audio
voice
recorders. Yeah, I couldn't play. I was too concentrated on beating the game. I got them. I just didn't listen to them. I was like, must save Ellie. I had tunnel vision.
You're like, shut up.
I was like tunnel vision, save Ellie. But yeah, like, that's a good point. Like, I didn't know that part, and that makes sense, because developing a vaccine is hard enough in this kind of world, but in that kind of world, it's not near impossible, in my opinion. So I kind of agree with them in that way, but at the same chance, it's still worth it. Like, it's really tricky, because I want the two of them to be together. Like, not in that way, you creepy bastards. I know there's going to be a handful of people out there, but as father and daughter, I really want them to be like that. But at the same time, humanity is not going to survive this infection.
Yeah, it would be really, really tough. I mean, even though you got to know Ellie and you're like, no, yeah, she was the savior. Maybe she wasn't. You know, maybe it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But if it had been up to... The point is that if it had been up to Ellie, she would have done it.
Yeah,
and Joel didn't. Joel was very selfish in thinking about what he would want.
Yeah.
And not what Ellie would have wanted. Even if it didn't work.
Yeah.
I think Ellie would have still thought it was worth trying.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been Ellie, and Joel was just like, I can't go through this again because in a
Yeah,
way,
like I can't lose you.
I can see that how he feels. Like, in honesty, if in his situation, I don't know, like, would I do the same thing? Because if I lost a child and then I grew, someone who basically I now consider my adopted daughter, could I do the same? It's something you have to like.
That would be hard.
Yeah, kind of like eek. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and it kind of that moment kind of represents the whole game because
Yeah.
the whole game was pretty much showing you how selfish people become in those types of situations and survival
And yeah.
situations. Everybody was being selfish, thinking about what's good for themselves. Even those two brothers, they just left you because they were thinking about their own survival.
And that's
I think that's probably what Joel was thinking.
It shows humanity in its worst forms.
Yeah,
that's why
it's hard. In those moments, it's hard to really think about humanity, about saving humanity, because it's more on the long run type of thing, and you learn to like see things more on a short term base in that type of situation.
And that's just humanity. Like, we see things in the short run. Very few of us look at things in the long run. And
especially when you're put in that survival situation where you don't know when you're gonna die.
Yeah, and that's really good because in the world of The Last of Us, you die, you're fucked. Simple as.
Yeah.
Like, the odds are you're going to die either from infection or you're going to kill yourself. One of the two. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to get killed by a crazy guy and his daughter. One of the two. Or the three, sorry. But yeah, I did like the fact that this game didn't beat around the bush, because when you think of games like this, they normally try and show the best in humanity. But this game showed
and they
the
make
worst.
it end happy. Or well, not all of them, but some of them will try to end it on a happy note.
A game that has a very similar ending to this in a way, in my opinion, is Enslaved.
Yeah.
Like, have you completed
this? That game was so good. I want to play that game again.
You've completed it then?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I did a review on it and everything.
Yeah, oh, yes, we did. My minor spoilers for Enslaved, but in my opinion, Last of Us is the spiritual successor to Enslaved, because people who worked on Enslaved worked on The Last of Us.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot about.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right now: if you loved Last of Us, you'll love this game. This game is definitely one of my favorite of 2010. It's a game that needs a sequel because, minor spoiler. There's a spoiler for the ending, but the ending of this is very similar in a way, because it's kind of this. It's not exactly the same, but it is a selfish ending in a way.
Yeah,
because
it is pretty selfish.
I don't really.
It's kind of like they don't really solve anything. Yeah, it's just like
It ends like okay, fuck it. Here's the spoilers. At the end of the game, Monkey, who's the main character of this, yes, he's called Monkey, make the jokes now. Basically, he's given their...
Wait, do you really want to spoil it, though?
Okay, I'm not going... In fact, you're right, I'm not going to spoil it. Thanks for stopping
Because
me.
what if people haven't played it?
Yeah, okay, right now, go play this, go play Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, and help it get a sequel.
You can get
it's
it
so
for
awesome.
really cheap.
It's really cheap. Please go play it. It's fucking amazing. If you love Last of Us, you'll love this game. I'm not going to spoil it, actually. Thanks for stopping me. But... it has a very similar ending, and I will say, like, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, and Last of Us are very similar in that way with the ending. I'll say that right now, and I like that. In all honesty, I'm kind of okay with happy endings. I like happy endings. I'm a happy guy. I like seeing things happy. But in all honesty, I need something every now and then that just punches me in the gut and goes, no, there are no happy endings, you cunt.
Exactly, like just slaps you, and it's like, no, this is more like reality, you know, like you've got to be ready for this thing, this type of stuff. And it's like not everything is, you know,
sunshine, rainbows, and
butterflies and flowers and stuff, you know.
This world's fucked. It's pretty damn sick, and how sick human beings can get, because we humans are fucked up creatures.
Yeah, we could be, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Put in situations like that, I'm pretty sure things would work out pretty much like it was in the last...
Pretty much like us. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we can talk about the ending? The ending is a selfish ending, and it is a bit sequel-bait-ish in my opinion, I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit sequel-bait.
Well, it's kind of confirmed that they are going to be doing a sequel.
Well,
Did you hear about that?
Well, I didn't hear it was confirmed, but I'm glad that there's going to be a sequel. I don't know if you're going to play... I'm taking a guess, and you're probably going to play Ellie then.
Maybe. Like a grown-up Ellie?
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably a grown-up Ellie. And of course, I want to talk... I don't know if we should talk about this, because it doesn't really have anything to do with the game, but have you heard what Ellen Page has said? She's kind of pissed off that they ripped off her likeness, that Ellie looks like her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like, she says they kind of ripped her off, and I'm like... look.
That's so stupid.
Like if you look at the voice actress for Ellie, who's Ashley Johnson. She's an amazing voice actress, by the way. Look her up and learn her name. She's awesome. She does look a bit like Ellen Page, and she looks more like Ellie than Ellen Page. But Ellen Page, stop getting your knickers in a twist, or Foxy. You've got your own game coming out shortly. Shut up.
I know, and Ellie really doesn't even look that much like Ellen Page.
Yeah.
If you look at her, no.
Yeah, I think
kind of, but no.
You
I mean, you could even argue. If I dress up like Ellie, you could argue that I probably could pass as an Ellie.
Yeah, of course I can dress up like Joel, and I look like him. I've got the beard.
Yeah, I mean, if you try, you could totally, if you have some similar features.
I think we've just confirmed our cosplay for E3 next year.
That would be fun, actually.
That would be fun. That would be awesome. If I can make it, I'll definitely get a Joel outfit sorted. But yeah, I like the fact that, and someone, of course, Alex has said this. Happy endings should be worked for things like why a lot of us hate. Basically saying why we hate the Mass Effect 3 endings because it's all lovey-dovey or something like that. I don't know. We're not going to talk about that. We've already bitched a bit more about that enough. But I think The Last of Us is a good example of why games should be respected more and how stories can be told in it. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. A mature story that shows the reality of a cruel world.
And a lot of people can say, "Oh, they could have done this in a movie or a book," and I'm like, "Yeah, they could have, but it wouldn't have worked as well."
But they didn't.
It wouldn't have worked as well as a movie, in my opinion, because you explore this world, you find the artifacts, you find the letters that people left to their loved ones. You can't do that in a movie. You do that in a game. You show that this world got fucked up pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
And I love the little touches. I really did. I really did love the little touches that they did here and there. And I love.
There was a lot of nice details.
Yeah, a lot of great details. I will say this one. Did you get the bug where Ellie basically became elasticated at the university?
No, but I saw you. Didn't you post a picture on Twitter?
I posted it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what the fuck happened to her? It was funny. I laughed my ass off.
You said that. What did you say? Ellie is
very flexible.
Flexible? Yeah.
I must have. It lucky enough fixed itself within a few seconds, but it was funny. I laughed. But yeah.
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, but I think they've probably fixed it by now. But I laughed my ass off at that. But I will say this: Last of Us, in my opinion, is one of the games I consider to be art, and I do agree that I know someone's going to ask me, did I prefer BioShock Infinite over Last of Us? In all honesty, Last of Us, in my opinion, is far better.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think there was. I mean, BioShock Infinite had a lot of great moments between Elizabeth and Booker, but I think Last of Us took that to the next level.
Yeah, Last of Us really took that.
Joel and Ellie.
And I love that. I think this is going to be a running joke now because Troy Baker, for those that know, is actually a very good guitarist.
He sings too.
He sings. He's like, what is it with voice actors and being able to sing and play instruments and do voice acting? I'm jealous.
He's really talented. Yeah. He's awesome.
Like him, Jesse Harnell, Gray DeLacy, all three of them there I've mentioned are singers and are voice actors. They're very well known. Jesse Harnell's Wacko, for fuck's sake, and he's in a rock band.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I saw that video that you put up. Yeah, that was so cool. If you
haven't checked it, check out Rock Sugar. Don't Stop the Sandman. It's the lead singer, Jesse Harnell, is Wacko from the Animaniacs. Check it out.
And you could hear it. You could hear Wacko peeking every now and then, and you're just like, ah!
I will say this one now, like this game definitely put it up there, and in my opinion, is while BioShock and Infinite had a good story, I just think this thing blew it out of the water, and I'm definitely saying this right now. I think Last of Us is Game of the Year so far.
I think so too. I would not. I would be really happy if it won Game of the Year.
Yeah, same here. I'd be like, well done. But we do have other games coming out as well that might take the handle, like Grand Theft Auto 5, which in all honesty looks like it's gone back to the comical roots of San Andreas, in my opinion. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to it. We will do a spoiler cast or a review when it comes out eventually, if I can get it, because I'm flat broke. But yeah, I will do it. So I'm going to open up to questions. Have you got time for some questions, MD?
Yeah, I could stay on for another 10-15 minutes.
Okay, so if you want to ask us a question about The Last of Us or anything in general, but basically concentrate on The Last of Us and maybe the games in general. Now, I don't know if the Twitch chat is working at the moment. I don't think it is.
I finally got to, Twitch is actually open finally,
Yeah.
but I can't see the chat.
If the Twitch chat isn't working, try tweeting either me or MD. I've got my app connection thing opened up here. So, but is there anything else you want to talk about while we wait for some questions about either the voice actors or anything like they think that we might have missed out on in the game?
Trying to think of anything that I probably didn't like. Is there anything that you didn't like?
And honestly, I didn't like some of the cheap deaths with the clickers, but it made sense why that worked. I don't get why the clickers do kill you in one hit. Is it because they're either too strong or Joel
I think
is
it's
scared
because
of mushrooms?
I think it's because with other zombies or people, you could sneak up and like choke them, or and with the clickers you can't because they've got that big old thing on their head. So I think that's probably why.
You can shiv them though. That is easy.
Yeah, you could shiv them, but I can't like choke them because they've got like that.
The only
big
enemy
thing.
that made sense why I could kill you in one hit was the bloaters because they are massive. But it got me thinking, like, if that's what happens to a person who's been infected for a few years, what happens to a person who's been infected even longer?
I know, right? They just like they just disappear.
Yeah, they just become a big fungus. There were some gameplay schematics that I didn't like about it, but I can let that slide. Like there were a couple of issues I had with some, like the enemies moved extremely fast, but in all honesty, your character moved extremely slow, which made sense. But the enemies seemed to be moving way too fast, in my opinion. Like a lot of cheap deaths I got was because the enemies were like there in your face within like a split second.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I hated the runners, because sometimes I couldn't avoid them. They just like popped right into your face, and you're just like, ah! Like that one part where you are in the university, I think, and you get separated from Ellie.
Yeah,
was that the university?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't the university. It was like a hotel or something like that.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that part. That's
and you go like down in the laundry room or something like that. Oh my god, that part was probably the scariest part of the whole game.
I just ran. I ran.
Scared me so much.
I ran in that part. I literally saw the blower and I was like, fuck this, and ran. I literally ran and avoided everything and just got out of there. Okay, Alex has sent us a question. Was there any characters you thought were assholes or evil too evil to be believable? No. I honestly don't. All the characters were not evil. They were just the worst of humanity.
Yeah, they were believable.
Like
believable
Bell,
in the
I think his name is,
especially in that world.
Yeah.
The way that they were so like distorted, and the way that they just got so messed their mind, like it really messed their mind. Like,
Bill,
it was believable.
For example, we can use him.
Who?
Bill, I think his name is. Is it Bill? The guy.
Oh, the crazy guy, the guy that helps you.
Yeah, the guy that sets all the traps and blows you up half the time.
Yeah.
He was crazy. He was nuts, but he wasn't evil. He was actually a decent guy. So he was just like crazy. Like,
he helped you out, but
he helped you out, but he was a dick at the point at the same time as well.
Yeah.
So there weren't any characters that weren't evil, but there were characters who I will admit, like the cannibal guy. I was like, that's a little too far.
Yeah, he was evil, but he was believable.
Believable evil. That's the best way to sum it.
Yeah, because it was like, oh my god, this guy's messed up. But I totally believed it because I could totally see that happening to people.
Yeah, and it actually happens even in this world. Even now, there's no apocalypse.
Oh yeah, you don't need a post-apocalyptic world. But...
like in Canada, there's a guy who's a cannibal who's got rehabilitated and now paints decapitated corpses.
Oh.
Yes, and he's rehabilitated.
Okay.
Cannibals Anonymous. I'm a cannibal. I ate my wife last week.
Oh, me too.
Do you want to read any of the questions you've got? Do you have got any?
Yeah, I got a few. Let's see. From Super Elusive Man, say you were a firefly and you told Ellie she had to die in order for a cure to be synthesized, but what if she didn't want to?
I'm the type of person that would let her go.
Yeah, if I was a firefly,
I wouldn't. If she was willing to die, I could maybe accept it. But if she says no, I'm not willing to die for this, I'd be like, okay, everyone who's going to try and take her, come at me now. You have to go through me first.
That's a pretty good question though, because if you think about if you were a Firefly, if you think about what they stood for, and you think about you being in that world, and also seeing how Marlene was acting,
It's just
it's like this desperation where
like
it's like, no, we gotta do
yeah,
this.
and like from my personality, like I made the running joke that the Fireflies were Joss Whedon fans gone crazy, like they still want Fireflies, vote Firefly. But I made that joke in my Let's Play I was trying to do, but that's the point. But I would probably be on the Fireflies side because I'd be like, humanity needs to be rebuilt, and we
Yeah,
do need to find a cure for this. But I'm also the type of person that no matter how much I want it, I can't send a child. Like even though Ellie's about
yeah,
maybe, I think she says she's 14 by the time of the end of the game.
yeah. I think
Say
14,
because it
15.
15,
By the
14.
end of the game, I think she was probably 15 already.
I just don't think I would be like, fuck, just run. I'll hold them off.
Yeah, I would
I can't.
probably.
I can't. Like, if I'm not there, then maybe I'd be like, so what? How did we get this cure? Oh, we cut open the skull of a 15-year-old lassie.
Oh wow.
Okay, give me the cure, please. Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. But if I was there, I probably would turn on the Fireflies and be like, if you try and take her, I'm going to kill you. Simple as.
Yeah, I would probably.
That's
I
me.
would probably do the same.
I'd probably do a Joel. I'd probably end up killing everyone, and then she'd be like, "Right, Ellie, run and gun in mouth."
I would probably help her escape without trying to make it so that seem like she escaped on her own. But then again, she was sedated,
Yeah.
so
So
I don't really think they would give her the option of
no,
asking her.
no.
I think they would
I
just
think
do
that's
what they
why.
did in the game.
I think that's why she was sedated because even though
Yeah.
we think that she would say yes, you can cut my head open and
What
take
if
my
she
brain.
didn't? Yeah.
If she said no, would they be like, tough shit, cricket bat? Do you
All
have any
right, I
more,
just thought I'd ask.
do you have any more questions? Because I've got like one from
I
Alex.
think I
Is it,
do.
What's your favorite non-playable character that aren't the main two? I must admit, I liked Bill.
He was funny.
He
Yeah,
was funny.
he
I
was.
liked him.
I loved the interactions between him and Ellie.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. I will say about that they really have to do the porn magazine thing though. Like for those who don't know, like she stole a couple of his magazines, and the porn magazine goes, "Ew, why is this all sticky?"
No, she's like, why are they stuck together?
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
two
And
people.
I was like, oh, and
And
I was like,
Joel's like, she's like, I'm just kidding.
and I think as though that would happen. So, do you have any more questions? I'll take maybe two more, then we'll end.
The game reminded me of The Road.
I've heard of that movie. I haven't seen it though.
I haven't seen it either, but I want to.
Same, I do want to see it eventually. I've got a bunch of films I still need to watch. What's this film? I picked up a Sean Bean film recently called Clean Sky.
Sean Bean.
Yeah, a film by Hadi Hajin.
Yeah, him. I remember him.
No, but that's the cover.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the cover. I've seen that movie around.
Yeah, I don't know why Sean Bean's just awesome in everything.
I know, right?
Like,
And the Road has Viggo Mortensen, I think, right?
I'm not good. I'm not big on voice. It takes me ages to learn actors' names. So
Viggo is Aragorn
oh, him.
from the Lord of the Rings.
I remember seeing trailers for that film. I haven't seen the film. I want to though. It does look like a
I
film
want
that
to, yeah.
I'd like to see.
I love Viggo Mortensen.
So do you have any more questions, or is that about it?
I don't think so. I don't have anything on Twitter.
Then I've got one more. It's from Alex. Does the game pass the Bechdel test? Bechdel?
What is that?
Bechdel test for female characters. What the fuck is Bechdel?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I kind of understand what he's
I think
asking.
that's like, are the females portrayed as believable? Yes. Like
Yeah.
we're not going.
Or does he mean like sexist? Is that what he means?
I think that he might mean that, but we'll use both. Like there isn't any sexism in this. I'm gonna say it right now. From what I saw,
No.
there wasn't, and there isn't any strip clubs. So I'm assuming the women are respected. And also, there probably is a strip club somewhere. We just didn't see it. I mean, like
The women that came out in the game were portrayed
there weren't that many.
they were portrayed in a like believable how
like,
a woman
they were
would be,
they were
just like another
characters.
guy.
They were
Like a
just
guy
characters. Okay, what is that? The Bechdel test. What the fuck's the Bechdel test? You sent me a link. Ask a work of fiction. Does it feature at least two female characters who talk to each other about other about something other than men.
Yes.
Yes, Ellie and
Ellie and
their
Marlene.
brothers.
And Tess.
Yeah,
Ellie and Tess and
Ellie,
Ellie and Marlene.
Tess, and Ellie, and we don't see this. We see it as off screen, but Ellie and Joel's brother's wife.
Yes.
And that's why he finds out about his daughter, that she finds out about his daughter. So
Yeah.
that was very well done. I think that's about it. Is there any last minute things you want to say about Last of Us besides go buy it now if you haven't already? And if you're still watching this, why?
Not really. I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is that I really hope more games go down this type of route where, more mature storylines and a lot of character development, because I think that's one of the major things that a lot of people like to see. I mean, people like fun gameplay, of course.
Yeah.
But if you mix that, with
games.
like good character development, you've got a great game.
Like I said, Last of Us, some gameplay elements were a bit iffy, but the character development, the story, I hope that there are more games like this. But as I say, it all comes down to the simple question: who perceives games as art? And unfortunately, the ones in the big legs don't. They see it as a cash cow.
Yeah, or as just like fun gameplay. Like I could totally see why there's all games can't be the same. There are other categories, but I thought this game did a really good job.
Like there are plenty of games. Like The Last of Us is a good example how fun games can be and how mature they can be as well. If you want a fun game, all you need to do is I'll grab it. Is we've still got games like Saints Row.
Yeah, exactly.
This game's over the top comical action.
Yeah.
But we can still have games that are mature, like Last of Us. Like I enjoy playing this game as much as I enjoyed playing Last of Us.
Yeah, and publishers don't have to make a freaking big deal if it's a mature game. The Last of Us worked, so they didn't have to red flag it or anything because killed a girl at the beginning or whatever.
Yeah.
Some stupid little reason.
It does show that, and I do hope that publishers, which unfortunately won't, will try and do and explore more mature games, but they won't. I guarantee it.
It's gonna take a while.
Last of Us is the first step. Like there are other games that will force, but The Last of Us is the step this year. And
this year.
I hope more follow up. And here's hoping for a Last of Us 2, which makes no sense actually.
Last of Us again.
Yeah, Last of Us again and again and again and again. But I think that's
The Last of Me now.
that'd be fun. But yeah, I hope they'll know Last of Us. And of course, if they're watching this, well done, Naughty Dog. And I've got to give a big well done to, I think it's Ashley Johnson. I do apologise if I got the actress name. And Troy Baker. You deserve awards. You deserve awards. Like, is there a voice acting awards ceremony like the Oscars?
But like the Oscars, no. It's all mixed into PG.
There has to be. There has to be a voice actor awards ceremony sometime.
I know, right?
Because these people.
But then, like, there wouldn't be that many nominees though, because
there would be. Like, I'm talking.
But, well, if you think about it though, like, sometime throughout a year, there's only like a few titles where you're just like the voice actors were amazing this year.
Like even then, like I'm not saying like you could have the mature ones, but you could also have the fun ones as well, like voice acting for comedy reasons and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Like even in The Walking Dead, they've got some really good voice actors.
Yeah, I gotta give them that. Really good voice actors in that. But I think that's about it. I love voice actors. I think I know more voice actor names than I do actor names.
Me too.
Which is a shame. I'm like, I feel so bad. But yeah, I think that's all we've got to say on it. I don't think there's anything else. I hope you enjoyed watching this. And
Super Elusive Man asks me if this got the the MD seal of approval. Yes, it did.
And it definitely got my seal of approval as well. Like, I do have a WeOn badge that says worth it, but I haven't used it in ages. But definitely gets my seal of approval. Big fat buy it, you cunts. Simple as. Like, I say it's a good game, but I'll also insult you at the same time. Buy it now, you cunts. But yeah, definitely go and buy it. It's definitely worth it and gets my seal of approval and gets MD. So I think that's all I've got to say. I hope you enjoyed the spoiler cast, and I think the next one we're doing of us is Man of Steel. I think.
Are we still doing it? Yeah. I'm down for it if you want to still do it.
Alex can't do it this weekend. We'll do it next weekend if we can, hopefully.
All right, sounds good.
So next one's Man of Steel, and then after that, whatever other game we've completed or movie, whatever. So I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you for watching, and of course, thank you, Andy, for joining me for this.
Oh, thank you for asking me to join you.
And I hope that, well, all I was going to say is, well done, Naughty Dog. Well done, Troy
Yeah.
Baker. Well done, Ashley Johnson. And see thank you for watching. As
Thank
always,
you guys.
I'm Scottish Warren 82. See you all later.
I'm
Ciao now.
Gamermd83.
Ciao for now. Mwah.